Talking with Coach Chris Creighton. Coach, your thoughts going into this season. What excites you about this team?
Lots of things. I think the first thing I would say is just our culture, and I think people know what that means. Just our guys, our staff, and our guys. We love being around each other. I feel this way. I think they do too. Just being a part of something bigger than ourselves. We love football, and it's about to start. So it's exciting that we finally get to play. We feel as though our goals are achievable. Going to be incredibly hard, but there's excitement in that, going after it.
I was talking to Jose Ramirez, and he was talking about this year's motto is stack 'em. What does that mean?
Well, our seniors came up with it in January. They're just talking about, we had some really good early initial workouts, and we were meeting, having a leadership deal, and it was like, we've got to stack these workouts. We can't just, have a good one and then fall off. We got to keep stacking them. And as we kept talking as a leadership group about that, it just really rung true with what we needed to do as a program to take our next step, and that is to be able to stack success. We've had success, but we haven't been able to continually and consistently stack successes. And so our theme was born out of those guys in January talking about having to stack workouts. We want to stack victories. We want to stack great practices. We want to stack play after play. And so that's what our theme is, and that's what we're going to try to do.
Let's talk about your offense. Got a handful of returners there. You look pretty solid on the offensive line. A lot of returning players there. You got a strong wide receiving core. You will have a new quarterback. But how has the offense looked to you through the spring as you get ready to go into fall camp?
Well, with so many people back, the real question mark was, what was going to happen at quarterback. Austin Smith is returning. We felt really good about him. And then Cam McCoy joined us in January, along with Taylor Powell. And, Taylor Powell obviously has been getting a lot of attention. He had a great spring. Completed 81% of his passes in spring, and has just done an awesome job getting to know our program and our team. He's just a great fit. And so, offensively, you said solid with their offensive line. I think that their ceiling is way higher than solid. I really think their offensive line has a chance to be really, really, really good. And our receivers all return. Our running backs are returning. We lost our two starting, tight ends. Right. I feel really good about that group. And then, quarterback, we got to play at a high level there. And so critical pieces have to step up. But so many other pieces we think can play at a high level that we got a chance.
Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. Again, strong core of returners, and you've added some nice pieces to the defense.
Yeah, things start on the line on both sides of the ball, and we start things from the inside out, especially defensively. But, Jose is getting a lot of recognition, and deservedly so. He's the captain of our football team, was voted that way by coaches and players. And again, he's a better human being than he is a football player, and he's going to be playing football for a really long time. His energy, his passion, his selflessness, I think just makes everybody better. Our interior defensive line, we think that we have some really good athletes and some really good experience on our interior D line. Tariq Spates returns at linebacker, and then we've lost Terry Myrick in a lot of production.
Right.
But in January, when Taylor transferred in, we also have Chase Klein and Joe Sparaccio. And, it feels as though those three guys have been on our team for 2 years, that they just come in January. And both of those guys had really good winters and springs and are certainly throwing their hat in the ring in a really talented linebacker group. And then I'll tell you this, our safeties, with Blake Bogan and, still here and playing, and his veteran leadership, and, Russell Vaden, Brandon Benson going to be in his last year, and TJ Peavy. The list goes on. David Carter played a ton last year at safety. All of those guys are returning. And then at corner, both Mark Lee and Captain Shine are both with us. And then we've been developing and recruiting just like everybody has, like every day all year. Sure. And so we do have some other guys that have joined our program that, are making us better as well. And I'll just jump into special teams.
Yeah.
With the loss of Chad Ryland, we all, Jesus, knew that he was super talented. And so he's also got some competition now. But our kicking game, we feel great about. The loss of Jake Julian, I don't care who we have. I mean, losing Jake Julian, we've got talented guys, and so they're all going to just have to step up and compete. We got to find the right person, and we got to do that in camp at punt, which I think is the most important play in football. I will
Do you
say
truly
this.
believe that?
I do. I want our best players on that. The biggest plays can be made either way by field position, blocking a punt, changes a game. So I want our best players on the punt team. There's no question about it. That's why we introduce those guys along with the offense and the defense before our home games. But I will say the person who has led that group, and Coach Sewell has taken over special teams and is off to a great start. But Stephen Bird, our long snapper, is not only so consistent and talented as a long snapper on the field, but he has taken over that group of specialists and kept them on a really high trajectory. And so he is so valuable, to our football program.
Well, and that's the one the fans never think of the long snapper. And if you never hear his name, then that's when you know they're doing their job, right?
Yeah. And he does it at a high level.
Well, Coach, I'm excited. You start stacking them next week, right? Camp opens
every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Well, we're excited for the season. We look forward to the 2022 campaign with Eastern Michigan, Coach.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Chris Creighton.
Yeah. Thank you.
Head coach of the Eagles.